Right, I'm back. Yeah, said today I was going to do a video of some comics that are arriving. So got just a few things that arrived off eBay. I've got a couple things I won off of Comiclink, an auction site, and a couple things that are back from CGC. So wanted to do this because I have a lot of stuff coming back from CGC. So I wanted to be sure I just kind of keep on top of it and show you guys what I'm getting. So the few books I got off of eBay. Got another Glamour Puss. As I said, I'm collecting these. These are Dave Sim, does Cerebus, did this kind of like uh, thing where he was mocking and lampooning uh, glamour magazines. So who will pass on in this sudden death issue? And she got kind of cross eyes, the model. So again, silly Dave Sim humor. Then I got this, which I didn't even really know existed, but it's this Out There title. But it's Bruce Timm cover, and I'm collecting Bruce Timm. I'm trying to, if I can find cheap stuff from Bruce Timm, excuse me, which this was very inexpensive. It was a few dollars. Um, I'm getting it, and sometimes even if it's a little more, I'm getting it because everything from Bruce Timm, or almost everything, is very expensive. He doesn't do a lot of work, and it's really highly in demand. I talked about it in the past, and I'm going to do a Bruce Timm focused episode at some point. In fact, like like the one, two, three down here, that's a Bruce Timm, and then obviously the one that I showed here, where I've got the print and the comic here. That's kind of the most highly desirable Bruce Timm, but we'll go through that again. Then there on Ellen's channel, Comic Collector Geek, they were going through some Fiction House comics and a few weeks ago, and I was following along, and there were a few that I thought were really cool, so I was doing kind of a real time search while they were doing this, and saw one that was really cheap, or relatively cheap. Fiction House, for Golden Age comics, you can get Fiction House comics for like under $200. And I broke my rule. I don't buy raw Golden Age generally speaking, but this was actually really inexpensive, and I thought it was really cool. I thought it was cool when he was showing his copy. So I bought it fairly inexpensively, but when I got it, it's in a little worse shape than I thought it was. Like when I saw the pictures online, I was kind of estimating it as 3.5 maybe, and I'm just thinking this is a 1.5, so maybe a 1.8. But anyway, skunked happens. You break the rule of buying raw Golden Age, and this happens to you. Um, then I was on Comic Link, and I go to Comic Link when they have auctions, and I look for things that are selling what I think is way below what it should be, uh, especially if it's something I really want. And I love Dave Stevens. I think most people like Dave Stevens. Um, and like last year, this was selling for a lot more, but for like $50, I got Alien Worlds. What is it? Number two in a 9.6. Um, and yeah, I mean, even some recent sales were like $80 for this. So it's a cover that I've wanted. Um, he does this great Good Girl style, and most people really like Dave Stevens. There's a documentary on Dave Stevens. I think it's on Netflix. If anybody's interested, it's really cool. A lot of people watched it and really got into Dave Stevens as a result, which is one of the reasons why last year a lot of his work spiked. And um, I was kind of in that group. I had known about Dave Stevens from Rocketeer and these things, but I didn't really know about all of his Good Girl stuff, which I really like, and started to collect. Then another one, a Golden Age horror comic that was up and was under $200. and it is a series that I'm trying to put the whole run together of Witches' Tales, and yeah, I mean this is cool. Like a Witches' Tales number 6 in a 5.5 white pages for 1951 uh, Golden Age horror. The trope: girl, red dress, bondage, and the villains are mauling her in alive. You can see the other skeletons are in there with her, the servants of the tomb. Um, it's one of my favorite titles, and I think I have about half of these. I think there's only like 24 or 27 or something in the entire run, and I think I have about half of them already. So I was like, well, maybe I should try to collect the whole thing. So that I'm gradually chipping away at that. I think I'm going to try to get the whole run of Witches' Tales. You see kind of above me here. This is probably the most desirable of them. That's the it's got a severed head inside of a bell, and that Quasimodo ringing the bell with the severed kind of zombified hell head in there. So kind of cool. Then I sent in a couple of things to CGC that were a couple comics I wanted to grade for some time, and we're a little bit higher priced, so I wanted to be sure. Yeah, I knew there were going to be a little bit of money, but wanted them graded for a little while. And the first is Golden Age Horror, Nightmare number 13. This is notable. It's Matt Baker art. So people who don't know, Matt Baker in Golden Age comics, certainly the most famous in black artist. In the 1950s, he was a very popular black artist who was working, and in a time where there were almost none. So I don't know of other during this age, the Golden Age, who were working, who were notable. Like really, it was Matt Baker, and most people would consider him uh, top 10, top 5 maybe artists of all time that ever worked on comics, and specifically comic covers. But he mostly did good girl art. I believe there are only 2 uh, horror titles that he did, and this is one. This is the more famous of the 2. So yeah, Nightmare number 13 and a 1.8. I thought this was going to come back about a 2, but 1.8 I guess is fair. But white to off-white pages for a comic from 1954, pre-code horror, and one of the great artists of all time is still really good, and I'm glad to have it, and I'm glad that I slabbed it because uh, Golden Age. I mean, they fall apart. They're really um, unstable, even in a bag and board. So it's a good idea. Then I have a comic book that I've had for probably about 25 years, and I've had it raw the entire time. Bought it off the earliest days of eBay, and I was kind of debated what the grade was with myself, and I almost sold it once, but I'm glad I didn't. And it is a key, and it's one of the big keys, and it's getting even bigger because the Fantastic Four movie is about to come out, and a couple of these characters are going to be in it. But yeah, I mean it's a banger. It's yeah, Fantastic Four 48, which in a 3.0. With this is the first appearance of Silver Surfer and first appearance of Galactus, and both of them are going to appear in the new Fantastic Four movie. Um, got the Fantastic Four cool label, and then it's paid $5 extra. What could you do? And yeah, it's a banger comic. It was a comic that I always wanted when I was a kid, and when I got a little bit older and had some adult money and eBay came out, I was like, yeah, I'll buy that, and I did, and I've had it raw this entire time. Um, Mostly never graded it because I never intended to sell it, but I'm thinking that with the Fantastic Four movie, and if it goes the way I think it's going to go, I could be convinced. I could be convinced to sell it if the price goes. The price is already going up pretty high, even in a 3.0 for that comic. Um, I might sell it. I don't know. I'm keeping it for now, but if it goes up high enough, then Yeah, I'll have to move it. Um, yeah, that's what I had for now. I've got some big stuff coming. I have, um, yeah, I have uh, a couple things. I have one of the biggest pre-code horror comics uh, uh, arriving sometime next week. It's huge, huge comic. I was able to get it on from Bryce Comics on a payment plan. So paying like 150, 160 bucks a month for the next year or something. Uh, but it's big, big book. And also one probably the most iconic Frank Frazetta cover is also coming. Another huge book. Um, and then I got a bunch of other stuff coming back from CGC. Some 9.8 pre-screens in Modern Comics, and another cool first appearance in the Deadpool universe that is coming back. And yeah, over the weekend or Monday, I'll be doing that video. So anyway, that's what I have for now. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe, even if you hate this. Please subscribe. Again, we're going to do uh, at 50 subscribers. I'm going to do a giveaway, and as I've said several times, it's going to be a giveaway that you really like. I've even thought about maybe curating the giveaway to the specific person who wins. So finding out what they really enjoy. If I know them, then I'll probably know what they like already, and sending them like a slab and a couple of other books. So yeah, sub up, man. Um, have a good weekend, and hope everything's going well for all of you. Cheers.